Hello, welcome back to the chaos that is Shani and Books. Today I am going to be doing my February TBR. If you haven't seen my TBR videos before, for almost I think 3 years now, I have been doing a TBR game, which is kind of the spin on the TBR jar that is very popular. So I basically have a jar of prompts and I pull out 10 prompts. I stick each onto a 10-pin bowling pin, and then I bowl a ball, and whatever pins get knocked down, I have to fulfill those prompts. So it's kind of the TBR jar with an extra step to randomize it even more. This is my first TBR video for 2024. I decided not to do one in January, and I have reprinted out all of the prompts. I put it in a little jar, which this jar looks cute because like the rainbow prompts, and I even put a little bow because bows are in apparently, but they're really stuffed into there. I was using the Milo tin before and it was definitely easier to pull them out, so they may not be able to stay in the cute jar, but like it looks cute and it's gonna look cute on my shelves. So I do have a few things to plan around in February. As always, I do have the Buzzword reading challenge that I want to complete. It is a yearly reading challenge hosted by Books and Lala. Each month there is a prompt, which is a word or a group of words, and you have to find a book with that word in the title. I've been doing it for however many years it's been going. I also have book clubs that I would like to participate in, my own book club being one of them. If you haven't seen before, I did start my own book club, and in February we are reading Lunar Love. So if I can fit that in somewhere, obviously that would be good. And then there are also 2 readathons that I would like to participate in. One, I don't know if you can tell, my eye makeup is flames. Can you see? I hope you can. I hope you can see, because I want the appreciation for the flames on my eyes. Maybe this side is better, I don't know. As well as my flame nails, which if these pop off during the filming, we're just gonna ignore it because I'm reusing some press-ons. But my lovely friend Jan is hosting a readathon in February called Jante's Inferno, and there are a bunch of prompts for that one. So that's what the flames are for. The other thing I want to try and do is get through the rest of my arcs. One of my goals this year is to get my NetGalley score to 80%, and I have a couple of arcs that I would like to read. So my goal for Jante's Inferno is, the idea of the readathon is to get out of hell, but my hell that I'm going to be getting out of is the hell of having a backlist of arcs sitting in my NetGalley. So there is also another readathon that I would like to participate in, which is hosted by my lovely friend Sasha, called the Thick Thighs Readathon, which is about reading plus size characters in books. So let's get to picking out the prompts out of the jar, and hopefully all my plans can be fit into the month. Let's pull out 10. First one is a pink one. Uh-oh. The first prompt is a name in the title. Okay, prompt number 2. Okay, that's a good one. 2023 release. Oh. Okay, number 3. Uh-oh. An author using a pen name, which I can't think of any. I'm gonna have to look up these authors. Okay, let me dig down as far as I can. Ow, did I just give myself a paper cut? Okay, this one. Another yellow. Oh no. I don't have many of these. Historical fiction. Next up, okay, we've got a green one. The colors mean nothing, by the way. It was just a different colored paper. Yellow on the cover, okay. Okay. Another pink. Oh no. Size word in the title. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 more. Green again. Okay, this is a good one. Disability rep. Hey, buddy. Okay. A verb in the title. Protagonist in their 20s. The last one. Let's dig down as far as I can. And it was, oh god, orange. Okay, a used book. All right, let's put this on the pins. All right, the pins are set up. Okay, here we go. Okay, what's that? 4. Okay, we can work with 4. Okay, I think I have organized all of the books. So let me run through the bowling prompt that I knocked down first, and then I'll go over the readathons. So the first one was a name in the title. And for this one is one of the arcs that I have, and it is called Greta and Valden, which I believe those are both names. And this one comes out the 6th of Feb. I think it was already published in New Zealand before. This is a New Zealand author. It does say for fans of Schitt's Creek and Sally Rooney's Normal People. Follows a brother and a sister as they navigate queerness, multiracial identity, and the dramas big and small of their entangled, unconventional family, all while flailing their way to love. So I love literally all of those things. A brother and a sister, multiracial, gay, and both of those are names. So there we go. The next one is, it's a verb in the title, which the word that I'm using this for is technically a verb. So the book is The Catch by Amy Lee, which catch is a verb. Catch is something you can do. You can catch a fish, you can catch a ball. Also, I feel like that this book is also meant to be, like the title is meant to be read as the catch, as like she's a catch. So then that's not really a verb because it's the person, but we're going to talk about catching a fish. That's a verb. You can do it. So this is another arc that I have. This one comes out the 15th of February. It is about a fashion influencer who finds herself in a rural fishing village on the east coast of Canada. She meets a burly fisherman. Okay, got interrupted again. Yes, she meets a burly fisherman, and a boating incident lands him in the hospital, and she is mistaken for his fiance by his family. So in exchange for his help with her social media content, she is going to fake their engagement for a week. So very excited for that one. That's my one for a verb in the title. Next up, protagonist in their 20s. For this one, the book is already out. I'm a bit delayed on my reading of this one. Apologies. This one is called Love Just In by Natalie Murray. It came out on the 3rd of January. It does say, in the vein of Emily Henry's You and Me on Vacation, Love Just In is a friends to lovers romance with just enough spice to heat up the summer. It is summer in Australia, if you didn't know. But the first line of this one says, Sydney TV news reporter Josephine Josie Larson is approaching 30. So that means that she is in her 20s, because that is approaching 30. So she is a TV news reporter. She has a panic attack on TV. As punishment, she is shipped off to cover another reporter's 6-month leave. Back in her hometown, she runs into her best friend from high school, and I'm guessing it's a romance between them. Lastly, this one is size word in the title. And so for this one, I'm going to be using the book Big by Vashni Harrison. This one is a children's book, and I'm going to insert, I think, if I can, a TikTok that I came across ages ago.
I told you not to. What tea? Slim tea? Really? Really? Be happy. Be happy. What is? They serve her some slim tea.
Hi, I'm a librarian turned radical street librarian, pairing kids with a perfect book for them. This is Big by Vashti Harrison. It's about a little girl who all her life was told, oh, baby girl, you getting big. And it was a good thing. As she ate her peas, learned her 1 ABCs, everyone said, baby, you is getting big and strong, girl. She grew and grew and grew, and it was always a good thing until it wasn't. All of a sudden, people start saying, aren't you getting big? And as she's swinging on the swing, people say, don't you know you're too big for that? And it makes her feel small. The words stung. I'm looking at some of you out there, and they were hard to shake off. So she's going to continue to go throughout the story, and people are going to give her all kinds of advice. I know what you can be in the play. People are just going to tell her how big she is. The book has beautiful illustrations. She starts to grow bigger and bigger and bigger in her mind. Why can't she just be smaller? But one day she starts to see things more clearly. She decides to make space for herself. My favorite page, she gives them back their words that hurt. These are your words, they're not mine. That's Big by Vashti Harrison. You can buy one using the link in my bio for anyone who has ever felt too big. I would love to send a copy to the little girl in that video because I think it would be a great read.
And yeah, I'm going to use it for the thick thighs readathon, which I guess I'll go through the prompts for that now, since those were the only 4 10-pin bowling prompts that I have. So I'll put up the graphic, but there is a bingo board. So the goal is to be reading books with plus size characters. So read an LGBTQIA plus rep book, a BIPOC author, a non-romance, and a graphic novel. For the graphic novel, I'm going to be reading My Brother's Husband Volume 2. This is Volume 1. I don't own Volume 2 because they're quite expensive, but I've read Volume 1 years ago, so I might reread this and then read Volume 2 from the library. This is... Wait, actually, it kind of covers every single thing. Wait, this is all the prompts. Oh my god. So I have this one and the picture book, and I will probably read other things depending on how much time I have. But yes, so it is following a work-at-home suburban dad in Tokyo, single parent to his young daughter. Their lives suddenly change with the arrival at their doorstep of a hulking, affable Canadian named Mike Flanagan, who declares himself the widower of his gay twin. So yes, we're following this man and his daughter, and he had a twin who has passed. This is the twin's husband, aka my brother's husband. So yeah, I will reread this, read the second one. Also, I will read the children's picture book Big. And yeah, I don't know what other, like I'm sure I'll read a novel during this time, but I don't want to jinx myself and put too much on my TBR. And then book clubs. Like I said, my book club book is Luna Love, which seems like it is following this main character who is taking over her grandmother's business. It is a matchmaking business, and it is to do with the traditional Chinese zodiac signs. And she finds out that there is a competitor business who is... Wait, I need to look up the synopsis. Okay, yes, there's a competitor who has made a dating app with the same kind of idea, but is changing the traditional Chinese aspect to be like really gimmicky. She is obviously very mad. And so the two businesses are going head to head, and they're making a deal that they each have to find a match for each other, and whoever loses, whoever falls in love loses? I don't know. Something like that. But it is the Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year in February. It's also Valentine's Day, so I figured that this being a romance book and given the Chinese zodiac elements would be a good pick. So if you want to read along, we will be doing a live show at the end of February. I might even do some like fun Chinese zodiac things, like going through them all and figuring out what everyone's Chinese zodiac is, depending on how many people turn up to the live. So that will be fun if you would like to join, if you've read that book before, or if you are able to access it. I need to pick up my copy from the library, but I wasn't able to go yesterday. And then I did pick up from the library Jan's book club pick, which is Animal by Lisa Tadeo. And Sasha is actually the guest host. So this is just a Jan and Sasha TBR today. And I think this is just like an angry woman. I don't really want to know entirely what it's all about. But I think that a woman witnesses like a violent crime or something happening. Oh, a suicide. A man shot himself. I don't really know what's going to go from there, but I am intrigued to know. And then the buzzword reading prompt is positive words. So I feel like I could probably just use my book club book for that one, because it is called Lunar Love, and love is a positive word. So that's all of that. Let's go on to Jan's readathon, which, like I said before, is themed around getting out of hell. I'll put the prompts up on the screen, but basically you start at the bottom and you have to finish all the prompts to work your way out of hell. So starting at the bottom, the first one says set in winter or snow on the cover. For this one, I am going to use Bright Young Women, which I don't have a copy of. I think I might listen to the audiobook. And in the synopsis of this one, it does say we start in January 1978. And January in America, where this is set, would be winter if I am not mistaken. So, and from what I've seen people saying about this book, it is like based on the real life Ted Bundy serial killer, but we're focusing on the women instead of romanticizing a serial killer and telling him like, oh, but he is such a bright young man. We are focusing on the victims, the bright young women. It sounds really, really interesting, and I'm very excited to see what I think of it. So that's going to be my set in winter prompt. Moving up, we have horror or thriller. For this one, I think I will be using Chlorine by Jade Song. I believe that this is a horror book and it sounds really interesting. I think it is meant to be like a girl who is turning into a mermaid. So I'm very excited to get into this one because I figured out that like weird-ish horror is kind of something that I'm into. So excited to read this one. Next up is a bit of a stretch. The next one up is Vampire Book or Blood on the Cover. Now, I don't know if you can tell, like I have pink shelves. I am not generally a horror, thriller, blood killing girly. So I'm going to cheat for this one. The book that I'm going to be using is called The Best Mistake because I have an arc for this one. Like I said, I am getting out of hell and my hell is all of the arcs that I need to read. So this one, the cover, which I'll put on the screen, clearly this is not blood. It's clearly meant to be wine, but we're going to pretend that it is blood. This one is a sapphic romance. It's already out. It came out, I think, in December, but I didn't get approved for the arc until after it was out anyway. So a chance weekend fling becomes an electrifying escape for two strangers until they meet again under very different circumstances. A one night to forever lesbian romance. This is an Australian author as well. One character who moves to Melbourne for a new university job, and then another character who runs the campus tutoring program for migrant students. She barely recognizes the other woman who she met months ago. The universe keeps hurling them together and that old attraction flares again. You guys know I'm in my sapphic romance loving era, so very excited to read that book with blood on the cover. Next up, so hot pick, new release or hyped. I'm going to count The Catch for this, which I already spoke about, so I won't go over it again because it does come out February 15. Next one, I'm cheating a little again, but battle / war / knife to throat enemies. Again, look at the pink shelf. Do I look like a battle war girly? No, I don't. I think I'm going to count Lunar Love for this one. There is a battle, you know, they're battling businesses, and I'm sure she's probably mad that someone is making a gimmick out of her grandmother's business. So we'll call that enemies. And that's that. Next up, we have one you paid full price for. So for this one, I'm going to use Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake, which funny, when I was pulling out the prompts and one of them was an author with a pen name, that one didn't get knocked down. But this is actually a pen name. Olivia Blake is the pseudonym of Alexine Farrell Fulmer. So there we go. I could have used this one for that prompt, but alas. This one I did buy a physical copy for when I saw it at the bookstore, and then months later I ended up getting approved for an arc of it, which I don't understand because it's already out. So I don't know, but regardless, I have an arc of this book that I need to review, but I already bought myself a copy. So gonna use this for the paid full price for prompt. I don't know what this is about. In a Chicago art gallery, two people meet by chance. He's a doctoral student, consumed by calculations on time travel, which he uses as a distraction from destructive thoughts. She is a bipolar counterfeit artist undergoing court-ordered psychotherapy. By the end of the story, these things will still be true, but this is not a story about endings. I'm very interested to get to this one, and also I think this author is Filipino. So, you know, I love that. Next up, we have a book with food involved. I'm going to count Greta and Velden for this one, which I already talked about, so I won't go over it again. I don't think there's food involved, but there is food on the cover. Next one, Any Semblance of Romance. For this one, I'm going to use another arc, which is called Playing with Matches. Again, this one's already out, I think. Yeah, it came out in December. So this one is another sapphic romance. So it is following a small town girl. She loves making candles and her little gift shop is her pride and joy. But when the shop's building goes up for sale, she might lose her home and everything that makes her happy. The worst timing of all, the landlord's daughter, who she went to high school with, has breezed back into town. So she's back in town because she got laid off from her job in the city and she has to come home to help her mum run the family's B&B. During a week-long wedding celebration for her ex, not wanting the groom to know the shambles her life is, she grabs the nearest person, which is the other main character, and tells him how happy they are together. So fake dating. We love that. And I love fake dating around a wedding as well. I've read so many books that are like around a wedding that I've enjoyed. So there is that arc that I need to get to, and it's a romance book, so it will count. And very last prompt to get out of hell. one more book can't double up, and I'm going to use another ARC because I am getting out of my ARC hell, and this one is called All Things Beautiful by Elena Erdel, which this one just came out 16th of January. So whoops, need to get to this one as well. Is it really bad that I have ARCs that have already come out that I haven't reviewed? Is that bad? Okay, don't worry. After February, I'll be back on track. Another sapphic romance. This one is following one woman who has had a messy divorce. So she is a single mum. She prioritizes her daughter, art, and teaching. That is until Casey Norford joins the close-knit New York Academy. So the other woman, she didn't receive the artistic education she expected from her degree. Oh, but she's got the spot to study with this other... Oh, and she has a son, so she's also a single mom. She wants to give her son a stable childhood that won't resemble her own. She's not sure of the true extent of her artistic talent, but she's keenly aware of her attraction to her instructor, and that attraction appears mutual. I usually would really steer away from anything that resembles a teacher-student relationship, but given the fact that I think they're clearly both adults, I guess it's less taboo, because it's clearly not like a university romance with like a professor and a student. It's like an art class, like not in a school setting maybe, because it did say she's already finished her degree. So I think this is just like a fun hobby class, I hope. I don't know. Either way, it's a sapphic romance. I'm excited to get to it. And I think that's all the books that I want to talk to you about. I barely own any of these physically. I own 2 and I have 1 from the library. So all of the other ones have ebook copies of. Oh, and this one, I guess, because this will be a reread. So there we have my February TBR. I think that's all I needed to include. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. I will leave links to Jan's readathon that I was talking about, as well as Jan's book club, and also Sasha's readathon that I was talking about, and also my book club. I'm very excited for all of the 2024 TBR picks that will be coming up for the rest of the year. Thank you so much for watching my TBR video. And oh my god, I've got pins and needles in my legs. Okay, I need to go. I'm sitting on the floor.